Okay, I think I found the boo-boo. So I was continuing to take apart this distributor that just came out of that Chrysler out there, the one that I had, so to speak, freshened up. Alright, so the first thing I found out, that's where all those cams right there, they go down on that shaft, and it's supposed to be free. That's your advance, the way your advance works, and so it was not. So the advance may or may not have been working in this, the centrifugal advance. So that's one thing. And then once I finally got the advance cam out, this is it on the top up here. I noticed something right away that didn't look right to me. You notice it's got an R 11.5 on it. This one has an L 11.5 on it. This is one out of another one of those distributors. And this one down here didn't have anything. This is just the 8. This is probably a replacement, reman replacement. So I thought, uh-oh. So I eyeballed this, and I was pretty confident in what I was seeing, and then so I thought I would just go ahead and just make sure. So I run some lines up here to put these against, to put my ruler straight edge, yes, say, and made lines, and then set on that line, made another line. So I'm confident all these lines are matched, they're straight. So I was looking at these, and sure enough, it's not going to be easy to see. I made a little line right there, but see the tip of that cam lobe right there? It's pretty much points straight up, maybe slightly to the left. And you see that's where a rotor positioning slot is there. And so I have this one set in the same place. Look at that. The cam peak is off to the right. I don't know how many degrees that would be. 5 or 6 degrees maybe, something like that. So that distributor had the wrong cam in it, because this is one that came out of another big block distributor, and it doesn't look like it. I didn't write that precisely, but I can just tell that it is the same as that one, even though it's not marked. So those two cams are the correct ones for a left rotation. And what I mean by that, you're talking about either counterclockwise or clockwise. So a big block distributor like this one, when you're looking down at it, when it's running, the rotor rotates this way, counterclockwise. That's left rotation. If you have a small block, like a 318 or a 360, you look down the top of the distributor while it's running, if you could, and it turns this way. So it's right-hand rotation clockwise. So evidently somebody was in this and put the wrong cam back in it. Guess I didn't know better. So that's what's going to happen with that, is that the rotor's going to be phased okay. Looks to me like the rotor position is okay on it. It's mainly the same. I have to double check that. Matter of fact, I'm looking at it, and that doesn't look right either, as a matter of fact. Notice that? Looks like that one is further that way than this one is. See how that one looks like it's over that way more? The angle. Let's put it this way. Let's do this. We can do it carefully. So that's roughly the angle that the rotor's in on that one. And then this is the angle it's at on that one. So you tell me. It looks like the whole thing, looks like the whole shebang is on this one is rotated that way a few degrees. So what the problem is in this, I'm having to think here. I have to get my middle-aged brain working here. I think what's the problem here, what that causes as a problem, is that this is the breaker plate assembly that came out of one of those distributors, the one I just took apart. And I believe what's going to happen is it has the I had to think about this. I don't know if that would be the case or not. I'm thinking that it's got the timing off. Now I can't be 100% sure. Maybe there's no difference in it because this thing goes. This thing has to go on. It's got a position that it goes in relation to the rotor, in relation to the shaft rather. So normally it could rotate any way, but I have to remember how that works on this. But anyway, it's supposed to be, yeah, boy, I tell you what, these things are not fun to deal with sometimes. You have to remember how this was, but anyway, it's all this has in here. It just has a little hair clip, this little thing here that holds it in down on the shaft. And then see, it's free to rotate. It has to be because that's how the advance works. So the issue is you have to have it in relation to the shaft, which it can only be, the way this is designed, it can only be one or two ways. And it may not even matter. Look at the bottom. That edge there is, when you put it up there, it is parallel with those two pegs. So that, anyway, I'm getting this far into this and probably going to confuse you guys as well as me. But anyway, I think all things remaining the same. If that's the case, then that means when it slots into the drive shaft down there, or the cam gear, whatever it is down there, the drive gear off the cam, then if that's the case, then that means that when this thing is put back in and it's located by these locating lugs on the governor weights in the position it's supposed to be in, that means that this right hand one is off in relation to the way that the cams. Boy, that's confusing. I'm gonna have to ask somebody if my thinking is right on this. Anyway, man, that's confusing. I wouldn't have not expected to find that. So I'm gonna have to ask somebody. But they're definitely different. So sure are. I'm going to have to think on that one. I'll get my thinking cap on and figure out what the difference is there. So I can't answer that right now. Now, that may have a lot to do with our dwell problems and some other stuff going on with this. So the other thing I didn't like is when I was putting this thing in here, this rotor, looked to me like this rotor's supposed to have a spring on it in there to keep it in position, and it's just all loosey-goosey. That doesn't look right at all. Set the play on that one too, so I have to ask about that. That one doesn't even go all the way down. There it is. Now that one's pretty tight. That one feels good. These other two, so I can't even pick that up. So that's a good question. I think you asked me, I got a conglomeration of crap here. I think that's. The bottom of this one is good. The shaft is nice and tight. The bushings feel good. So I think I can build a distributor out of this one just fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. The only thing I don't like is I have the wrong springs in it. So, and this stupid reman, wherever it's at, it's supposed to be the right one. This 2642248, which was the right number for the right distributor in that 66 engine for the 4-barrel version, has not got any of the right parts in it that I'm aware of. I have to ask and see on that one too, but it's got another 11.5 degree plate in it, which is not what the guys that had the original, what his had in it. And it has a, well, let's just put that down right now. I'm going to hang it up for the day. All right, guys, well, big deep dive into distributors here. So anyway, that's what I found with this thing. So, you know, may not be any earth-changing thing here, and I can't answer the question right now what effect that might have here. I have to ask the elders. Anyway, so one of these little trivia things, so kind of an interesting discovery here. I thought that was a good distributor, but that's what I get for not taking it all the way apart like I should have. Lazy me. All right, let's move forward.